cuerpo,
It was a real story. De una chica que se voló con el novio, que era un camionero. Entonces la recreó
diferente.
Cosas así. Entonces, I don't like him because he don't give. He doesn't give. He doesn't give to his town. His town.
He exploits it.
Okay.
Sí, exploit it. He'll take the stories, sell it.
El pueblo le dio toda la inspiración y él no le devolvió. No le ha devuelto de ninguna manera, no le ha retribuido lo que el pueblo le dio. Es decir, I don't like, for example, Shakira, but Shakira does many things, ¿no? A favor de los niños, de las niñas.
La fundación.
Sí, ella lo hace, ¿no? Así sea para que le bajen los impuestos. Pero lo hace. Gabo no, que no me gusta. Y me encanta como escribe, porque si tú lees El otoño del patriarca, no tiene ni un punto ni una coma. En serio,
no.
Todo así es un estilo, un librote, y todo así seguido, no tiene puntos ni coma, pero está escrito de tal forma.
No lo leí.
En cambio tú lees un párrafo de otra persona sin un punto y una coma y te ahogas. Yo no sé cómo hizo, es una cosa espectacular, hay que mirar. Pero here in Colombia we had writers too. Manuel Zapata Olivella, Jorge Artel, Candelario Beso, Arnoldo Palacios, who lives at this moment in France. He's from Chocó.
Okay.
From Certería. There are many.
What is has there ever been like a black uprising in Colombia? Afro uprising fight?
¿Cómo le llama al
¿Pan bebé?
No, como yo entiendo como una persona que ha luchado por los asuntos afros. ¿Alguien que sobresalga? Sí, alguien de
There was Amir Smith Córdoba. ¿Ustedes lo conocieron?
No.
Educación.
Amir Smith Córdoba,
que es mucho más antiguo. Bianco Viejo, ¿no?
Sí, en la época de los palenques, Bianco Viejo. El rey Barú del Tadó. Igual hubo Agustina del Tadó, también una egipcia violada y obligada a abortar, pero se resistió. Ella incendió algunas haciendas. Y igual Polonia, que salía a pelear con 150 mujeres con machetes y garrotes contra los españoles, hace mucho, de la época de los palenques. Ha habido, pero gente de verdad que luchaba, porque ahora los de ahora son más oportunistas que otra cosa. Cuando no había plata, había unos contaditos.
Ahora que
hay plata.
How do you think education plays a part in the way Afro-Colombianos see themselves? ¿Entiendes? Sí, okay.
¿Qué parte juega la educación en la educación afro? Ahora yo solamente he visto que hay en la educación, pero en
la cátedra
explica, digamos, es una ley que exige que en las escuelas se enseñe acerca de la cultura afro, pero realmente no se aplica.
It's not us writing it.
¿Sabe qué se está haciendo?
It's only right by no.
Only in some schools. But the problem is these schools are schools where most people are black. We need that white people learn about us.
True. Right. Sí.
No pasa nada, nos echamos el cuento entre nosotros mismos. We need that people know about us and respect us.
Okay? I think they do know. I think they just try to hide it, push it away.
Yeah.
Because historians escribe what they want to put out. It's important that we know about ourselves.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem, I think, with Afrodescendientes, everywhere. I think that blancos, the Europeans, they know about us already. In Africa, en Estados Unidos, in Caribe, in South America, they know about us, but they don't care. They don't want us to be out anywhere else. So, after all, they were the conquistadores, eh?
Possible, but here in Colombia, really, I think
they don't?
They don't know.
Okay.
Por hablar en francés, I speak French more than English. Es decir, la misma gente negra no conoce.
Pero precisamente por lo que ya dice, la historia de history was written for
white people, right? They tell our stories.
Yes, ellos hablan sobre la historia blanca.
But she also says that white people know about us.
Not all, but the people that wrote our history.
¿Estás haciendo que esté hablando con la inglesa? Que no le hablo.
No les interesa. ¿Entiendes? No les interesa. Por ejemplo, Bolívar was the Rosa. Who gave the freedom to 5 countries, Latin America.
Sí.
Most soldiers were black, but the history
don't say that. Right.
Igual Bolívar era medio mestizo, pero lo blanquean en las fotos. And his nana was black. Ay, Dios mío, este muchacho así se hace ella todo el tiempo oramos. Ahí hay el problema.
See, the black contribution worldwide has been written away, or they don't write about it. No escribe Afro contributions. No.
Hay muchas.
Eso es lo que estamos tratando. Estamos tratando. We are trying to show that. There are writers in this time. For example, when I write about bread, about herndom, well, I think I do something like that. There are someone who write about, for example, about los ritos, los negros conquistadores, black conquerors, here. There are many things at this moment.
The guy, ¿cuál es tu nombre? Hombre that just left. He asked you about Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X. What did you say? What do you know about Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey?
They were, how do you say, fighters for black people rights in the United States.
Right.
Malcolm was more
United States.
Yeah, more, how do you say, radical.
I think, you don't think Marcus wasn't more radical? He, Black Star Line, he said that, right? millions of Africanos all around the world gave Marcus money.
Yes.
He had millions of members in the United Negro Improvement Association, UNIA. With their money, he was able to buy boats, buy land in Africa, and he was able to do a military in Estados Unidos and unify Africans not only in Estados Unidos but in Caribe, Africa, Sudamerica too, Centro. So he, I think, was more of a force than Malcolm. Malcolm, in his time, absolutely was important. But I think Marcus had an international picture of African people.
Marcus?
Sí, Marcus Garvey.
He do more.
I think he was able. Malcolm spoke a lot. Marcus did a lot.
Sí hizo más por la población afro y Malcolm fue más una persona orador, una persona que... Y sin embargo es más famoso Malcolm than Marcus.
What about Steve Biko?
Steve Biko. En Estados Unidos, most people don't know who he is. And except if you learn about African struggles. You know Steve Biko, Patrice Lumumba, Kwame Nkrumah, Maurice Bishop, a lot of African revolutionaries around the world. But just regular, everyday people in the States don't know who Steve Biko is, I would say. South Africa, that's it. South Africa. They know Nelson Mandela. But Steve Biko, I wouldn't think if you said if you talked about Steve Biko to regular personas en calle, they wouldn't know. No.
Why do you explain that Malcolm is more recognized than Marcus Garvey?
They're both. However, Malcolm is taught. Malcolm is in la escuela. They teach some parts of his life in school. Marcus, no. Marcus is an example that I think they don't want young black children to know about, because they might think the same thing. And that's why Uhuru movement that I'm a part of are what they call Garveyites. They believe in unification of todo Africanos everywhere. And that's what Marcus Garvey taught and showed us that it can be done. Malcolm was more of a speaker. He said the right thing. He was great. And a lot of people like him. Me too. However, plans, action, Marcus Garvey is a good example. But they're both recognized. People know both of them.
Because there are movies about Malcolm.
Sí, Malcolm X. Sí.
Mira, recién apenas aquí. Como metiendo, conociendo cosas, nombres, gente, porque no sé.